Hello and welcome everybody. First shout out to Mothhawk. He did it again. He wrote new music for the intro. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I had fun putting that together, kind of just showing like moments and stuff from the community from the past. But yeah, new intro, and it's funny because I just finished that today, and I honestly thought that I was gonna have a night off. Like we weren't gonna get any new information or anything over the weekend. Normally they don't really seem to post stuff on Saturdays, but as soon as I saw that video, somebody actually had to text me about the video. As soon as I saw the video, though, I was like, I have to go. I have to go live, and we have to talk about it because we actually see real cards. We have the Rarity scheme. It actually looks like we can tell a lot of the gameplay actually from it as well too. I'm super excited about that. I do have the video. I was able to rip it off of YouTube, so I am going to play it just for anybody that is not familiar with it, watching after the stream ends and stuff like that. It's about 2 minutes or so, but it gives us so many answers. So I'll play the video, and then after that, we'll actually go through and break things down by card by card. I took small images of them to where we should be able to actually see them blown up a little bit to make them easier. But yeah, we're gonna just jump right into the actual video that they released, and then we'll go from there. So enjoy. So yeah, that was the video that they released. I Yeah, we have cards, we have a playmat. Like I said, we can probably decipher a lot of the gameplay out as well too. So that's kind of what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of work from the beginning and then work our way all the way to the end. Like I said, I actually have close-ups of most of the cards. Uh, the first thing that they actually show us are the Terras, which I don't know if you could actually, you'd have to scroll, you have to actually zoom in to be able to see. But Kelsey did all four of those auras right there. Um, it also actually says, I think it says in lane, I believe it says destruction. So I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that actually means, but these are our four aura types that we're actually getting with this base set as well too. Also don't know if these are the only aura arts that we actually have, or if we're going to get new ones as well. I love though that Kelsey did, like, I feel like these are very traditional MetaZoo, like retro zoo, like aura, like the artwork on them. I particularly really like the lightning one. I was never a big lightning fan before with old zoo, but I really, here I'm gonna pull it up again. I really like that lightning aura. Um, so again, yeah, we don't know though if there'll be any alternate arts of these or anything like that, but these are our four confirmed auras for the actual set. The next thing that actually popped up though was Terras. And so that means that Terras are coming back. We are actually going to be using Terras. This one has an ability called Solitude. It says destruction has no effect in this lane. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Solitude might mean you have a Terra in a place where there isn't one, because like we'll talk more about gameplay when we get down to the playmat, because I think that kind of explains some of it. But there are spots on the playmat where it looks like both sides, you and your opponent, can both place Terras in the same spot. So I'm wondering if that's what Solitude means. It means it's the only aura actually in that spot. I'm not sure. The next one we have is strategy, and I love the play on the words of this right here, because this was Power Up Orange. And if you're familiar with Old Zoo, we had Power Up Red, which was honestly one of the strongest cards in the game. And then we also had, I believe, like Power Up Blue and Power Up Green. So I love that they kind of kept that theme with Power Up Orange. It says move a creature and give it +3 influence and soar. Now, again, we'll talk more about it when we actually get to the playmat. The playmat has, it looks like, I think four or five lanes. So I'm assuming that move a creature means that you can actually put it into a different lane. Soar is most likely their term for like flying effects, flying cryptids, beasties. And again, a lot of this is all theory. None of this has really been fully explained. It won't probably be fully explained until we get closer to the 7th. I know March 7th forward, they're going to go really hardcore and explain almost everything and anything that we actually want. So again, a lot of this is just speculation on what these words mean. So don't take it actually to heart. If you have any idea, comments, things like that too, please leave them in the comments. And if you think of something that I don't, I'll definitely make sure to actually shout it out. But yeah, so this is a strategy card. That's what they're calling this. I kind of feel like this might be like their version of a spell card, maybe. The way it worked in Retro Zoo was that everything had to be played on your turn, unless the card specifically said you could play it at any time, or you could play it on your opponent's turn. So I'm thinking that strategy cards are now our new spell cards in essence. I did notice that there is not as much flavor text on the cards as well too. And if you know me or you know anything, I'm all about the flavor text. Like this one says, for example, it's more than a power up; it's a declaration of your play style. And I'll be honest, if we're getting lore, if we're getting story, if these things are being explained in other avenues, we don't. I'm okay with the actual text on the card being different or being funny or things like that, because honestly, a lot of the information we got from cryptids with Retro Zoo was through the flavor text. And so if they're kind of like using the flavor text for something else because they're actually giving us all this information, I'm completely cool with it. The next one is interesting. The next card type. This is an equipment card. This one specifically is for Kentucky Hellhound. I would assume. The text on it says Kentucky Hellhounds seen wearing these collars are said to be more hostile than most. I don't know if we're going to be able to use equipment cards that are for other cryptids on other cryptids. Like, I don't know if you'd be able to use this on like a Jersey Devil or something. But it would be really interesting to me if the equipment cards are cryptid specific, just because it would change the way decks are completely made, because you would need to have the equipment for that cryptid versus an equipment that could be used for multiples. So that's definitely going to add some spice, I guess, to deck construction. We don't know though. Like that doesn't even specifically state that it's only for Kentucky Hellhound either. That's just speculation. So yeah, Zoo has definitely been modified in a way to reach a wider audience, which I'm okay with. But I do miss the old Zoo look, to be honest. I appreciate the old Retro Zoo, like, to be honest. I mean, but to just give this as an example, this is the first one I pulled up. look how much text and like everything is on this card versus the next one we're going to talk about. This is a creature card. And so, yes, it's been simplified, but I don't feel that the strategy has been completely taken away, if that makes sort of any sort of sense. There's still going to be, like, we don't know how the game is fully played. We don't know, especially at the higher levels, how it's going to be played. The camera keeps shaking because I keep switching pictures, so I'm sorry. But I do think that this is an upgrade. Just because, like, again, there was somebody actually in the last live stream that said it was really hard to even read the old cards. And a lot of that was just because of how much they tried to cram into the actual cards itself. So I'm okay with them actually, and we talked about this before when I speculated exactly what gameplay could be if they take away traits, other stuff like that, in like a couple months ago. I'm okay with them actually simplifying it and making it easier, especially easier to read. Because I mean, even having this right here, reading it, I mean, it is still difficult, and I'm not trying to knock it. It's just it is still difficult to actually read this versus like the new stuff. Which brings us actually to, like I showed it a minute ago, but this is an example of a creature card. This one right here is how do you pronounce this one? This is Aguara. It is and I'm actually using my computer behind me to actually read it because it's blowing it up a little bit. It is a beast. It is a myth, a beast trickster ward. Not entirely sure what that means. I know that like beast, trickster, and ward will mean something moving forward, but I'm honestly, beast is probably like the family that is part of trickster. I don't even know what trickster and ward would be. They might actually be some sort of, I don't know if they'd be extra traits or anything though. I'm not sure. What do you guys think actually trickster and ward are? The ability it has, though, is called Cunning Fortune. If this lane is unresolved, declare the mission in this lane. The winner gains 2 additional MP. This card alone right here gives us so much information. Okay, first off, lane is unresolved. So that means that you're either going to have to resolve each lane, or you'll have a lane resolving declaration part of the turn, basically after like I'm done with it. That's interesting. So we're gonna put a pin in that real quick. Declare the mission in this lane. What exactly does that mean? What is the mission? And the last thing is winner gets 2 additional MP. What exactly is MP? What is like? Why are we trying to acquire or accrue MP? What does that do? So that card right there just brought up a lot of different questions. But again, we'll talk more about that once we actually get down to the playmat area focus. The next thing, what is the next thing I have? Oh, yeah, the big one, the one that kind of like I left my floor on the jaw, or my jaw on the floor, I should say. Haha. Casters. We actually have caster cards. I'm not sure if these are cards that we have in our deck that actually we can play into lanes, or if this might like a commander style thing. Like I'm not sure. This one though is each friendly token creature has +1 influence. So I'm assuming that means that, okay, so to kind of break down the card structure, I guess, just based off of what we see. The 3 at the top, the one that's right here, boom, right here, yeah, the one that's yellow right there. I think that's the cost of the card. So it would cost whatever type aura that you actually need in order to actually get it out. The number that's over here, the 3 that's in the white circle, I think that is the influence. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know what influence actually means. And again, I don't really know, like the red and the blue, like the square that's like right here. I don't know exactly what that is supposed to signify. But yeah, it's definitely like, I would say this is a lightning caster. I mean, it has lightning in the card and the art anyways, but just based off of the lightning symbol that you actually see underneath the caster designation, I'm not sure. I'm trying to break down as much as I can real quick. Somebody's saying that there's too many mechanics at once, should have waited a set or two before adding equipment. We don't really know what the mechanics are. Like, we don't fully know. Nothing's been fully explained yet. So I don't know if you could actually say there are too many of them that they've already shown. And what is that? Chris is actually saying it's disappointing. It's a melting pot of Lorcana, Digimon art, Pokemon rarity, magic symbol. The zoo I loved is gone. Retro Zoo is still around, my guy. Retro Zoo is still here. There are still people that really want to play it. You can play it in person. You can play it on TTS. And again, like I've been saying the last couple of lives, I'm okay with them changing what they needed to change in order to actually give this the shot that it actually deserved, because we never had that opportunity with old admin. So I'd have to actually disagree with that. So the next one I'm going to cover then, I think, goes into the rarity system, which they showed one of each rarity. The first one they showed us was Jackalope. This is a common card. This is actually a new artist too, Mia Lloyd. I don't know if they've actually shown anything they've actually shown anything of hers or theirs to us. But again, you have myth, and then you have hybrid. So hybrid again might be some sort of creature designation. You have Yodel, which is the name of the ability, I guess. On play, each player adds one tapped aura to their aura zone. So I'm guessing you get an aura from your aura zone each turn, maybe. And this right here, when you play it, it allows you and your opponent to both get another one, maybe. Definitely interesting. This is an Earth Beastie, though. You can see the Earth symbol right underneath the 1 cost symbol for the aura. The next is an uncommon card, and this is, again, one of my favorite artworks that they've released so far, Advaris. This crazy Lithuanian mystical magic good luck chicken. It's okay, so Trickster, I guess would be maybe a family then, because this actually is Myth Trickster and the other one was Trickster. So maybe creatures can actually be different be like part of different families, maybe. I'm not sure, because yeah, a couple of the other ones actually had Trickster on it too. The ability for this one is bountiful offering. Give +2 influence to a creature in each other lane. The little symbol next to it too, I think that's the aura cost in order to be able to activate the actual ability. Again, not sure. And this one is Jebediah. This is actually one that they had already released. So we already knew the artist on that one. So this is an example of an uncommon. The next is a rare. Spring Hill Jack is back. This is from an artist named Fran P. Loboto. Jack is a terror trickster. He's a unique creature. So I wonder if that means unique means you can only have one of each inside of your spell book. His attack is called Double-Edged Bounce. On play, your opponent chooses if you shatter a Terra or if you gain 4 MP. Ooh, okay. So I wonder if the shatter a Terra, I would assume, means they're able to get rid of one of the Terras that you either own or your opponent owns. Or you gain 4 MP. Again, there's the MP thing. We don't know really what the deal is with MP at the moment. So that one's interesting. I do honestly think the artwork is kind of wicked. It's definitely a very different take than what we got with Retro Zoo when it comes to Spring Hill Jack. So that is a rare. The next one, I think, is what they called a super rare. This one actually really got me excited. I love that the artwork extends outward of the card. Because we were actually talking about last night in the live stream about the borders, and like the other borders on the other cards were black. This one it looks to be silver. But the artwork, it's different from the other ones because the artwork on this actually fully extends through the entirety of it. I love it. It looks great. Um, well, we don't know what the hollow pattern is either, communication. That's crazy. Like, because all of these, none of them have actually shown the hollow. And I would bet money that like we're gonna get some sort of hollow pattern, and we might actually even get multiple. To be honest with you, like I don't know. I haven't said anything about the hollow patterns because they haven't even teased anything with them. Um, you were kind of right last night, Charles. You're right. You were actually talking about them being different colors. That actually is, it's funny. So yeah, it looks like common, uncommon, and rare are going to be black border, and then the super rare, which is the next rarity up, is going to be silver, but the image actually comes out on top of it, which is again, I love that. So we have creature unique, cryptid aerial terror. Again, keywords we're not sure exactly what they mean. But we have the ability called penetrating laser. Once per round, when this creature moves, you may duel a creature in the new lane. So that's interesting because that gives me the impression that you're not limited to keep once you put a card in a lane, you're not limited to keeping it in that lane. You can move it. Like, that's honestly, I don't know. What do you guys think? That's what that honestly makes me think of. That you can actually you're going to be able to move cards around in the different lanes. Duel, I'm assuming again, and this is pretty easy. Yeah, 214 cards, crazy. But like the crazy thing is though, is that like just wait, because I noticed something with the alt art frostbite. I noticed that. We'll get to that, and that's the next rarity. But duel, I'm assuming duel means fighting another cryptid, fighting another. I don't know. Again, I don't know if casters actually go in lanes or not. I'm not sure. But like it means two things. Honestly, fighting. That's what duel means. Um, so yeah, this again, big information. You can move cards between different lanes, and we'll actually have some sort of dueling or fighting between cryptids. The last one, this is an alternate rare. This is new. Um, that's fine, Josh. Like I said, if New Zoo isn't for you, find something that actually sparks joy, my dude. I appreciate you swinging by and saying stuff and hanging out, my guy. But if it is not doing it anymore, then you need to find something else. And I wish you the best, my friend. 100%. I mean that. This is an alternate rare, though, okay? So we finally actually have full art beasties, full art cryptid cards. Like that, I'm taking it away for a second. This is something we talked about last night, and we weren't sure. Boom, you caught it, Charles. But this is something we weren't sure about last night. Honestly, we weren't sure if they were going to do full arts or anything like that. And they're doing them. I don't know if all of them are going to be alternate rares. I have no idea. But we have our first ever really full art cryptid card. Um, I'm stoked about it. It's okay. So we'll go over it. We'll go over it. And again, this big boy right here, he costs 7. It looks like in order to get him out. He's a unique creature. He's a cryptid, an aerial, and a dragon. That's pretty cool. His ability is one-way flight. For 2 lightning, sacrifice this creature. You may sacrifice up to 8 friendly spark tokens. For each spark token sacrificed in this way, gain 1 MP. So that's again, we don't know what MP is. We don't know what MP is. Claire, how are you doing, friend? Good to see you. We don't know what the MP is. We don't know what that means. But this guy right here, but him being able to sacrifice Quetzalcoatlus and every spark token that you do to be able to get MP. MP has to be a big thing with this because we keep seeing that reoccurring theme. And it seems like you're trying to accrue it. So like I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what that actually means. Again, this is Jet that actually did this, And Josh, dude, if this upsets you, just wait till we get down to the other cards of this spoiled, my friend, because one of my favorite cards in the entirety of MetaZoo is back, and I'm so excited for it. We're jumping ahead though. We're jumping ahead. So yeah, this guy right here, he's huge. And this right here, somebody did point it out. This is number 233 out of 214. So that means that there's like what, at least 19, I guess, alternate arts or stuff that comes after the actual 200. First off, 214 cards in a set. That's bigger, I'm pretty sure, than any set we ever got from RetroZoo. But that just, I'm interested to see if Quetzalcoatlus, honestly, is the last of the alternate arts or if there's more after it. Because, like, we're assuming there's only 19 alt arts, but we don't know what the full count of the actual set is. Like, and it's honestly, if they wouldn't have posted the Quetzalcoatlus, most of us would have thought that the actual set size was only going to be 214. So I'm really excited to actually see the other alt arts. I'm excited to see more of the full art cards. I love that. I love Jet. She's my favorite. So of course I immediately love it. And this is what, like, a huge fan favorite in the community. So I'm really kind of interested to see how this one goes over, because like this really looks like real traditional, like traditional Cryptid Nation MetaZoo. I mean, dude, it doesn't matter if it's reused or not. Like, when was this Quetzalcoatlus actually used before? I don't remember the artwork for this Quetzalcoatlus. Was it the Zoo on Tour packs, or like what? When was this Quetzalcoatlus actually used? Because I don't remember it actually using it. And even if it had been used before, I'm good. Oh no, dude, I'm stoked about that. Wait, like I said, wait till we get to that point, my guy. Wait till we get to that point. All right. So actually, funny enough, we're actually at that point. So yeah, the Quetzalcoatlus right here. Boom. It turns out that wasn't Josh's last message. Well played. All right. So again, this is what he keeps going on about. They actually reused old art for this new base set. And to be completely honest with you, I love the fact that they actually are using some of the retro art. Not all of the art needs to be brand new art. Some of it can be from RetroZoo. It's I don't understand why people wouldn't think of that as an amazing nod to old Zoo. Like, that honestly is like that I appreciate, because they didn't have to. They could have completely gotten rid of all of it and just gone with all brand new stuff. And I'm excited that they're actually bringing out some of the older cards. That Cumberland art is one of my favorite arts. I literally have it in slabbed. I have it signed. Like, it is one of my. I even have a playtester of that Dean still has in Australia that he hasn't sent me yet. So for them to use that in New Zoo, I am excited. So I'm sorry I can't share your sentiment, Josh. I can't. Like, that excites me. It makes me interested to see what other art they can pull from. See, I might agree with you, Frostbite, if Victor Larson hadn't have done the sample Cumberland. I personally don't think it was a good idea to get Victor to come back and actually do art, especially with him having his own game and everything now. So I love the sample Cumberland Dragon, but I just don't know if they really needed to inject Victor into the set more than they have. But that's an entirely different conversation. So what I did was I actually took pictures of these and scaled them up a little bit so we could actually take a closer look to them. The one PSP that we couldn't really figure out, that the ones that were leaked on the MPN, it was a Phoenix. That we got a Phoenix card right here. It has the little cross star thing on its forehead. That's I love that we were able to figure that out before we were told. This is another unique creature, myth, aerial, and elemental. It says new journey on play. If this lane is already resolved, declare the mission again. Ooh. So, okay, so we don't fully know again what lane resolved means and the mission. We don't really know what the mission is. But this actually allows you to pretty much, in essence, claim or do another lane action, claim the lane, whatever again. Like, and this is this would be what? This would be an uncommon. No, this would be a, oh God, it's a, not a rare, it's a super rare. This is a super rare because that's the 2 stars. Trying to remember. But yeah, this is oh, I love it. I didn't even notice it either too. If you look actually underneath it, Phoenix, it says risen from ashes. That's actually pretty sick. So this is one of the other cards that they spoiled because they spoiled like what? They gave us another 7 cards after they actually went through the rarities. The next one we have up is Azaban. And Azaban, if I remember, I think Azaban was a card before. I think it was a card from Native. Am I making that up? I might be making that up. I don't know. The name sounds familiar. But he is a creature, a myth trickster. Seance. Okay, cool. Thank you, Worry. His ability is called Scavenge. On play, discover 5, a lightning creature or lightning equipment card. Was it okay? The black and purple raccoon. You're right. Okay, cool. I thought I had seen it before. Okay, so this was interesting because it has on play discover 5, and it has like that that's a 5 with a black circle around it, and it says a lightning creature or lightning equipment. Now, what does that mean? Discover 5. I'm assuming discover means like search your deck or search your spell book. Find. But I don't know the 5. I honestly don't want to say that I think the 5 is like find 5 different cards. It might be something that costs 5 maybe, or up to 5. Again, we don't really know. I mean, what do you guys think actually? What do you think discover 5 actually means? I'm kind of leaning towards, I think it means that you have to get some sort of card that costs 5, but it could be potentially like up to 5 maybe. Not entirely sure. The next one, the artwork on this next one is insane. Okay, so this is insane. This is like, I love this card. This is Snallygaster. Okay, and it underneath it's Midnight Fiend. Okay, it's a creature. It's a unique creature. So again, we're going on the assumption you can only have 1 in a spell book. Cryptid, Aerial, and Terror. Cheese is saying discover 5 probably means look at the top 5 cards of the deck and take one of the cards listed in the effect. That's brilliant. I like that, Cheese. Okay. Oh, so kind of okay. Sorry, we'll go back to that in a second. But just to actually bring up, I want to actually highlight that comment. So in essence, Discover would be similar to, if you guys are familiar with like Magic the Gathering, like Scry, I guess. Or else no, I guess no, Scry, I think you actually have to put it on the bottom of your deck. I like that idea though. That actually I really like that idea that 5 means look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 1 back. I like that. Kind of like Scry. Okay. All right, going back. Sorry, I just wanted to touch on that because that was a really, really good point you made, Cheese. All right, so yeah, back to the Snallygaster. I really actually like this artwork. It's like, it actually kind of shows one of the first times I feel like you've actually shown the what is it, the how terrifying Snallygaster really can be. I mean, some of the smaller cryptids that we kind of brushed off because they were commons, uncommons, and stuff like that from the older sets. Like some of them can be really terrifying creatures. And I mean, like literally, this thing is swooping down, trying to eat a pig. This looks like the name is a little blurry just because of me having to zoom in, but it looks like this is artwork by a new artist named Caleb Arredondo, maybe. This is an alternate art. Again, full card. I like it. It says entangle. I think that is I'm not sure. Is that flame? That might be the fire symbol. I'm not sure. Move a rival creature. So to use the ability of, so that actually you can move a creature. Ooh, okay, so that allows you to actually move a creature out of a lane to potentially, I guess, succeed in the mission, whatever the mission would be. Another one says, I don't think they're going to be called chapter or spellbook or anything like that. I don't know, maybe not chapter, but I definitely feel like spellbook is a thing. Like that was one of the things I really actually kind of liked, honestly, about RetroZoo, was how they named everything, like the chapter, the spell book, your graveyard, your cemetery. I don't know if we'll actually keep like cemetery, afterlife, things like that. I'm pretty sure though that I think spellbook is actually is here to stay, but I'm not positive. I hope it is. I really hope it is. Okay, and you think the same thing where Discover is just like Scry or Search your Library. All right, cool. That's good. I like that there's actually like it come to a little bit of a consensus. But it's Snallygaster. I like that I like the ability to be able to move a rival creature to a different lane. Because that changes it to where you like, that shows us that there's going to be cards that allow us to spoke orange into existence, power up orange. That's right. I forgot about that yesterday. Oh my god. Okay, no, sorry, you're going away. All right, so go away. So, in case you didn't see the live stream last night, we were joking around about what the border colors are actually going to be, and you're right. I was like, orange is my favorite color. That's what the colors are going to be. So we got power up orange because of that. Oh, that's hilarious, Joseph. Thank you. That put a huge smile on my face. All right, back to Snallygaster again. All right, so we're on the Snallygaster, and yeah. So what I was saying is that it's interesting because this shows us that there'll probably be more cards. I don't know if all of them will be actually like cryptid cards, like creature cards, or if they'll actually be more of what they're calling the strategy cards, like what we're used to as spell cards. But it looks like you will be able to move maybe your opponent's creatures around in the lanes as well. Again, to whatever it is, it means to complete the mission, because we don't have any idea what that actually means to complete the mission. Next one's my boy. Oh, the Cumberland Dragon. And again, I know there are going to be some people who actually don't like the idea that they used old RetroZoo art. I mean, they bought all of it, so they own all of the old art. I personally love, and yes, this is Cumberland Dragon. Of course, you know my love for Cumberland Dragon. I'm like everybody knows that's my boy. I love, though, and I'm gonna get him away so you can see my face. I love that they actually used some of the old art. That gives me hope that some of the art that we actually really, really, really appreciate can be used later down the line, even. Like like I said, I love that they actually used some of the old retro art. And it's a nice nod, in my opinion, to the old community as well, too, trying to actually bridge the gap between the two. Like this was a huge gesture, in my opinion, of them doing this. Get rid of them again. Sorry. This was a huge gesture, in my opinion, because they are like M2 in conjunction with GameCubator is trying to rebrand MetaZoo, not in the essence of getting rid of what it was, but getting rid of all of the toxicity that came with them purchasing it. Because even in the good days, even in the good times, there was still like a lot of animosity and doubt when it came to old admin running MetaZoo. And so they could have, in all honesty, washed their hands completely of everything, since they were completely revamping the game, everything. And I was not expecting them to use old art complete, like, at all. I honestly thought they weren't going to use any of it, and like it is a huge like nod of appreciation, I feel, to the old audience, to the old community, to the people who actually fell in love with Zoo the first time. Like it's a huge gesture, in my opinion. And I don't know why, again, kind of talking about what Josh was bringing up, I don't know why anybody would think that should be a negative thing. I don't know why them using old art would be a bad thing, because it is literally I feel like it is them gesturing to try to include the older community. A nod. Yeah, it's I don't know. I thank you. I don't know whose idea it was to actually do that, to use the old artwork, but whoever came up with that idea, and thank you, because using that, especially going forward and using it in like set 2, set 3, things like that down the line, that that's huge. Like that on it, I don't know. I really appreciate it. So whoever made that decision, thank you. Now back to Cumberland Dragon for the third time. um we have our beautiful Cumberland Dragon. It is a creature, cryptid dragon. Again, there's that word ward. It has the ability Petal Dance, Overwhelm 3, untap 1 aura in your aura zone. I'm not sure what Overwhelm means. What do you guys think Overwhelm actually would mean? Let me go through and actually see what people are saying. It's a good idea. We're all going to be stoked every time we see them use old art. It's a nod to you, maybe, because of the Cumberland. Ha, that's funny for us. Jay Worry's happy that Griddle Grease is back. I like using old art, but I don't love how the cards look overall. Aside from the alt art, the artwork seems very zoomed in as well. Again, these aren't perfect images. These are stills from the video that they actually took, and I had to crop them down to be able to bring them up to be able to see things. Don't think this is like literally going to be what the finished product looks like, because like real cards in our hands is never going to actually be able to compete to screenshots, especially screenshots that have been cropped. The super rares and art cards look sick. Griddle Greaser is a nod to Menace. I don't know about that. There were plenty of people who actually loved that little piggy. What else do we got over here in the comments? Usually Overwhelm means it does piercing damage. Ooh, okay, Cheese, man, you're on point. That's actually, I like that. Okay, Overwhelm means piercing damage. So would that mean maybe extra damage to the cryptid that it actually is fighting, maybe? Huh. Overwhelm, I think, might be like Kicker in Magic 2. Oh, that's actually brilliant one. That's true. In Magic the Gathering, there's certain cards that you can play, and if you play them and you add mana to it, it does an extra effect. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if that means that Petal Dance would be like a one, like once a turn type action. I would assume it would have to be, because it doesn't actually say. Well, I don't know, actually. Overwhelm 3, untap 1 aura in your aura zone. Well, I don't know, actually, if it would be like Kicker in Magic 1, now that I think about it. Because why would you tap 3 auras in order to get 1 untapped? Yeah. Oh, tap 3 permanent type of thing. See? All right. You and Cheese are hired. I love that. Okay, cool. So Overwhelm 3, maybe tap 3 permanents instead of 3 aura. Oh, that would be super cool. Oh, so you can have a bunch of like tokens and stuff, and you could actually tap the tokens to actually to make an aura actually untapped. That's pretty cool. Ooh, that's solid. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. But again, yeah, have to shout out the beautiful, amazing Jet Yates. Just again, I'm over the moon that we actually have this. Maddie, how are you doing, my dude? Good to see you. Good to see you. Man, what time is it over there actually in Australia? How are you doing, my friend? Straight cooking, Charles. First round pick, Cheese. Oh yes, 100%. 100% Cheese, you're on the team. We're playing dodgeball and you were my first pick, my friend. All right. This next one is interesting because there actually are 2 of these cards that they showed us. And this is the first one. This is the alt art Basilisk. Okay. So we never got a Basilisk card before. So this is a brand new actual beastie. This is from Sound Reflex, which we've actually already seen some of his stuff that they've released so far. Oh, you're too sweet, Maddie. Better after seeing your face. I love you, bro. This is a unique creature. It's a myth hybrid terror. The name of the attack is Lethal Gaze. You have to tap it. I'm assuming that's what that symbol means. And it says, duel a creature in this lane. This ability cannot be used if this lane is resolved. So I'm assuming that this means you get to pick a cryptid or beastie that's in that same lane on the other side, of course, and you actually get to fight them. This makes me honestly wonder if dueling cryptids between like the opposing lanes, if you're going to be able to do it during the lane resolving, I guess. I don't know if I'm using the terminology right. Or if you're going to have to use a card or an effect of some sort in order to get those two cryptids to actually fight. Because we haven't really seen anything that would make it, I feel, go really one way or the other. But this one specifically, though, allows you to target something, and it causes it to actually fight this thing. And this thing, again, if I'm right with this, the aura cost would be 7 forest over here, okay, and the attack or the influence or whatever they're actually calling it is 10, and that is one of the highest that we've actually seen. I mean, granted, we've only seen 7, 8, 9 cards, but 10. So like this thing, I feel like if you had it out and you were actually able to go, it would be able to start knocking things out with lanes. With lanes, you are able to play with more players. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. See, I know nothing about when it comes to TCGs and gameplay and lane gameplay. I was saying that before in the last one. Jesus saying, my assumption is that you can have multiple things in a lane, and dueling is the way you can actually fight something you can pick out, but I have no clue. Fair. That's the question, though. And that's the question I'm really curious about, is that can you declare a duel on your own, or do you have to have some sort of card effect or beastie a creature effect, cryptid effect like the basilisk in order to make a duel actually happen? So I don't know. I'm interested. The next one is another really big fan favorite, and one I love that they actually brought back, and this is my boy Griddle Greaser Pete, the amazing Michael Peckham. Loved actually meeting him in New York. Such a solid guy. Hey, what's up, Creepy Clay? How are you doing? So yeah, I love that, and again, like this allows M2 to actually use some of the artwork from the older sets where like not okay, I'll bring him back up in a second. Not all of the artists are in a position to probably want to come back. Especially some of the earliest ones, like from Cryptic Nation, things like that. Some of them have moved on to other games, some of them have moved on to other careers, things like that. And so like Saban, for example, I don't know if Saban actually would come back, Saban Dali. But it would be really, really cool, in my opinion, if they could use some of her artwork in a later set, or this set even, because it would include the old original artists that can't make it back or don't want to come back into the new world of I love the possibilities of them using old art. I love, like I said, I love that it's like a nod to us. It's a nod to the old community, and it's just I love the whole idea about it. Exactly, Charles. They're paying homage to it, and like I'm still speechless when it comes to it, because I did not at all expect old retro art to be in this new game completely. Like I didn't think it was going to have to be, and again, like thank you for I can't wait to see what else is in it. So we'll see. I don't know if they would have to worry, just because the artwork from the original sets was owned by MetaZoo, and as long as they didn't actually sell the original print in that Whatnot stream, they can still actually use it. So I don't know if they would actually have to pay the artist after they've already paid for the artist, if that makes sense. TCG Baron says, question, will they have the OG Mothman art in the first set? I don't know, to be honest with you. The only Mothman art that we've actually seen is the Mothman with the eyes bearing down, attacking the city. So I don't, we're not entirely sure. All right, so Griddle Greaser, though, he is a creature, he is a myth and a trickster. His ability is Grease on play. Discover 5, a fire creature or fire equipment card. So again, here we go with the Discover 5. Juan is saying Discover 5 makes sense when you look at the ability, because you can find a creature or equipment that costs or is or it is look at 5 cards and grab one of those. Okay, that was honestly what I was wondering though, is that with that 5, it says discover 5, would you be able to pick anything that was like aura cost 1 through 5, or would it have to literally be 5? I really like the idea though of cycling through cards, like discover 5. That means you take the 5 cards, you look at them, you figure out which one you want, even if you have to put the other 4 in the bottom of your spell book. I love a card incursion, being able to cycle through decks. That's huge. It's something that actually is really, really, really big in competitive play. It allows you to pull out the exact thing that you need for that moment. So if that's how that works, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, like I mean, and we've only seen discover 5, so we could have like discover 1, or not. That would be kind of dumb. Well, no, actually, to be honest with you, even discover 1 would be huge, because being able to look at the top card of your deck, and if you want to keep it, or if you want to put it under. I mean, it's like that. Even discover 1 would be huge, honestly, because again, it's all about that cycle through the spellbook, be able to find whatever you want. Sizzling right now. Get out of here. I brought up the original Kentucky Hellhound art. If I need it back, to put it in the card, and again, let me know. Oh, okay. Oh, you bought the original Kentucky Hellhound art. That's cool. All right, so MetaZoo, if you're actually watching this, check out Cheese. Cheese is willing to actually let you guys use the old Kentucky Hellhound art. That's killer. That's killer. All right, so that was the Griddle Greaser Pete. And the last card that we actually have out of here before we get to the playmat is the other Basilisk. And like, I'll be honest, I know this is the alt art Basilisk. This is the one I want. This is the super rare one. I like this, and of course, this was done by the amazing Kelsey Giacchino. I I like this one more than the alt. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. It has the same attack. It has the same attack, same everything. And it has I mean, it's basically the only difference really with it is the artwork itself. Menace is saying he's sizzling while editing my reaction video right now and hoping I don't fall off my chair. Dude, I'm about to. I'm that excited from everything that we got from this today. Good luck with editing your video, though, my guy. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, the artwork is different. I do like how this one is borderless and this one's full art. Again, though, I really, really, really like how the artwork extends out of the cards, though, and actually encompasses part of the border and everything like that. So yeah, but again, if you notice, it is the same attack on both of them. So that's pretty cool too, because you're not going to have to find the super, super rare one in order to play it. You're going to be able to actually use I mean, I would assume there might even be a rare copy of it. That's a different artwork even too. Like, I don't know. And I don't know too, if I'm interested to see if all of the alt arts are all based off of rare beasties too. Cause like, it would be wild to me, honestly, to have like a common card and then have an alt of a common like that. It'd be kind of cool, but that'd be wild to me. I don't know. So I'm interested to see exactly which one is what. What was the number that this one actually popped up though on 2? This was 222 out of 214. Okay, so the Quetzalcoatlus alt art is still a higher number than this one. So we still don't know if Quetzalcoatlus is going to be like the last card in the set or not. Mel says, my question is, it will only be 214 cards in the set. Are they going to have going down the Pokemon route and have extras after the initial 214 set? There are going to be 214 cards in the set. The alt arts, actually, I can show you with the Basilisk again. The alt arts are actually numbered after 214. So they are kind of going that route right there. We don't fully know exactly how many alt cards are outside of the 214 number. So we don't know what the full set is. I do want to point out again, though, that 214 is higher than I'm pretty sure any set that we actually got from RetroZoo before. So if there's an additional, yeah, here, I'll go up to the Quetzalcoatlus real quick. That way you can actually see the number for that one, too. You can see with the Quetzalcoatlus that it is 233. Hold on, I'm trying to get my mouse to work. Haha, there we go. It's 233 out of 214. So we know that there are at least like what? That's 19 alts, but we don't know if there's any. If we don't know if anything goes past Quetzalcoatlus at this point, honestly. So this brings us to the thing that kind of just made things make sense. The playmat. Now, the playmat itself, and I want to actually, I can't honestly tell exactly what everything is on this. So hold on 1 second for me. All right, main deck, discard, aura deck, caster zone. Oh, okay. All right, so the one that's over on the top right, like just look at the first one that just says MetaZoo, not the one that's above you. The one that's on the top right is, what was that? That is your main deck. So that's where your main deck would go, underneath where the red and the yellow is. Underneath that is your discard pile. So it's main deck, discard pile. And then over here on the left, at the bottom, it's aura deck. And above that is caster. So, oh, okay. So timeout. So that means that you'll have an aura deck and you'll actually have a cryptid deck. There's only one discard pile. And I guess the caster card, like here, I'll go back to the caster card. I guess the caster card is the person you're playing as. I don't know. Does that make sense? Does I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together. But does that make sense? Like over here, like this is your discard. Down here is your main deck. Over here would be your aura deck, which that means that they're split now. And then up top over here is where the caster card goes. Okay, so that means that each person has a caster. I wonder if the caster card is out at the beginning or if it's one of those things where you have to draw it and play it from the main deck. It's interesting that the auras are separated from the main deck also too. Huh. Then you have basically the bottom space in the middle is for all of your aura. And then you have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes. And each of those lanes actually has a Terra that can be attached to it as well too. So there can be 2 Terras attached to a lane between you and your opponent. And I'm curious if you can have multiple creatures, multiple cryptids actually in a lane. Or if it would be maybe more like Yu-Gi-Oh style, where you can only have like one creature in a slot. That's interesting. Digimon has its trainers out at the beginning of the game, so maybe it's like that. Yeah, it's kind of like, I was thinking maybe kind of like similar to Commander from Magic. So like that, but I don't know if maybe it's not activated at the beginning. Maybe you have to activate it. You still have to pay the cost to activate it, maybe. Because like I'm pretty confident. Let me go back to it. Yeah, it has a cost. Like the caster has a cost. I'm assuming at least that's what the 3 with the circle is for sure. Is the cost for it. So I wonder if that means that it's you have to pay for it in order for it to come into play, or if it automatically comes into play. Yeah, and she gives each plus token. That's right. Okay. So so that's actually, it's coming together. That's making sense. So, but again, okay, so the big question then would be, how many cryptids can you have in each lane? I'm assuming, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you can only have 1 Terra per lane. Orbs. Oh my God, please keep orbs out of this. No more orbs. I'm getting rid of this. No more orbs. Orbs are gone. Throw the orbs away. We don't want any orbs. I don't care if it's old MetaZoo art or not. We don't want any orbs. Get rid of them. Throw them away. All right, go back to the playmat. Thank you for that, Frostbite. Appreciate that. So yeah, I'm assuming. All right, so I guess you have your main deck that you actually have all of your equipment and strategy cards and creature cards in, and then you have your aura deck, which is all of the aura. Your caster, we're not sure if it actually would come out at the beginning, or if it's one of those where you have to pay for it, or if it's we're not sure how that would work. Each of the lanes, again, my big question would be how many creatures can you have on a lane? Can you have multiples? Is it just one per lane? And yeah, that's another really good question too, Juan, is are you allowed to duel? Because that's what they're calling it. They're calling it dueling when two cryptids fight. Are you allowed to declare a duel yourself, or does it have to be triggered by a card or a card effect? That's the big question I'm actually curious about is can you declare a duel without a card effect or an ability? And how many cryptids, how many creatures can actually be in the lane itself? Is it only one? Because I don't know. Like, and again, you can't really tell size of that playmat either. So like because technically I feel like you'd be able to maybe fit at least 2 cryptid cards in each of the lanes, but again, not entirely sure. TCG Baron, how do you tell the difference in rarity between common, uncommon, and rare cards? Here, I'll show you real quick. If you look here, look at the, nope, not that one, this one. Look at the bottom left-hand corner over here. Boop. See a circle, that's going to be a common card. Diamond right there, that's going to be uncommon. 1 star is rare. 2 stars are super rares, and the super rares actually have art that it looks like it goes out past the border of the card. And then your third and last rare tierity is going to be alternate art, is what they call it. Triple star, but yeah, I think they specifically called it alternate art. I don't know if that means. I wonder if that means that all alternate arts are like the only thing that is triple star is an alternate art. That's actually interesting thought. Because you're right, yeah, I technically, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder if all of the 3 stars, triple stars are alt arts. I don't know. MP in traditional sense usually means like magic points, but like that's in essence talking about like Final Fantasy. Like I don't know what MP. It seems like you're trying to accrue MP, but I don't know what MP does. Maybe maybe there's a mechanic they haven't shown us and it allows you to do something else. Maybe you're trying to reach a certain number before your opponent is. Maybe it is your life. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. He could honestly be move points. Oh my god, yeah, that's actually really brilliant too. I didn't even think about that. Oh wow, yeah, no, move points. That's super cool. That's a good theory. Because you could, depending on, I wonder what they would use though as the basis of what would allow you to move it. Would it be the cost of the cryptid maybe? I'm not sure. That's interesting though. MP could be movement points and allow you to actually move one cryptid to a different lane. So I like that. Yeah, I'm trying to read in between the lines because I feel like they gave us enough information to decipher the majority of the gameplay. I know they were kind of teasing stuff here or there. The first one we got was the head-to-head, our face-to-face card that we had with Billy Whack and Hodag. So I know that face-to-face cards, I guess they would technically be or strategy cards. They force a duel between two cryptids. And then with the, I can't remember which, was it Lava Bear? Lava Bear spoiled the lane gameplay idea to us. And Lava Bear, Lava Bear, according to the description that they gave us, I think Lava Bear actually destroys the Terra that's in play currently. And just like, do they check points against each other and then you win around based off of that? I don't know. There was one, I can't remember which one it was. Oh, that's why it didn't upload. Hold on 1 second. The first one that they actually showed us. Oh wow, I'm surprised that I missed that. The first one that they actually showed us was this. It was the Monkey King. And it's an interesting thing that you actually point out, because it says create X friendly spark tokens in a lane. X is equal to the amount of tapped aura, as spark token costs a spark token is a 0 cost 1 influence cryptid creature. Okay, so what exactly is influence? What do they mean by that? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. What do you think influence means? It gave me the idea, though, that if like a token, for example, is 1 influence, maybe like the 4 that you see up there at the top, maybe that's the influence for the card, and whoever has the most influence might control the lane when it's resolved. I don't know. That's kind of where I saw that you kind of were going with, like, whoever has the most points in a lane would win that. But the way that they've also described, or they said, resolve. There's a couple times that they've actually said resolved lane. Like if you've already resolved a lane, you can't do this. I want to go out on a limb and say you might have to resolve each of the 4 lanes individually. I don't know if they'll just be like, and it'll probably be like a resolving phase maybe, but you probably will have to individually go through each one of the 4 of them. There's no traditional HP MP on these cards. That's true. There's only the cost and whatever that other number was, and I'm assuming that other number, the number that's circled with the white, is influence. Like Frostbite saying, right influence, maybe influences attack or defend depending on direction. Ooh, that's a really, really good thought, Frostbite. Maybe it's like that Marvel mobile game. Maybe I don't remember being able to, because with oh god, what is the game you're talking about? The name of it. It's Marvel Snap. Is that the name of it? I think Snap is. I don't think it'd be like Snap, only because the like, because yeah, Snap I guess would kind of be almost like lane gameplay, but with the way that game works is that there's 4 territories or whatever that they come online at different points of the game, and they don't change. You don't, like, you have no control over them. They're just there. They are random. Like, you can't stop them or change them or anything like that. So it definitely, I feel, would be different, because this is way, if it plays out like that, where like it would be similar to Snap, you'd have way more control over game state, I feel, with this versus Snap. That was one of the things, honestly, I didn't like about Snap, was that the territories in each of the 4 of them, they were set. Like as soon as you started playing like that round or whatever, they were set. They didn't change. So yeah, it's interesting actually to compare the two, though, for sure. What are you saying? That game gives you energy at a turn. Okay, that's true. Well, we don't know how, like, the aura, like, because it's interesting that there's 2 different aura decks too. You have the aura deck, you have the resource deck, in essence, the aura deck, but then you have the everything else deck, your creatures, your equipment, your spell, or not spell, strategy cards. You have all that actually in a separate one. I never actually played Altered or Berserk, unfortunately conflicted, or Soulforge, to be actually honest with you. I never played any of those 3 games. So yeah, did we actually kind of just decipher gameplay? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, that was the Sun Wukong one. I meant to go back to this, to the actual playmat. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you guys think you'll be able to play multiple cryptids in a lane? Do you think that you'll actually be able to declare duels or fights actually between the cryptids? Do you think it's only going to be activated by some sort of a card or an effect or something? I do like the casters are used in a unique way. It feels thematically appropriate. I kind of like. I know there was some people who were always trying to figure out how to make MetaZoo into Commander, and the idea of actually having somebody like a caster is cool because there are so many different possibilities they could do actually when it comes to casters. And to be completely honest with you, no, not that one. Where's she at? Where's she at? Come back, friend. Maeve. Who is Maeve? We've never heard of Maeve before. This is legit like an actual, I feel, a lore card. Like this is the first named caster that we have gotten from M2. So like who's Maeve? I'm again, I was ranting about it last night about how excited I am because I feel like not only are we getting the game, we're actually getting an explanation on how the world operates, how things in this world are, the mechanics of the world itself. Um, so I'm interested to see what we or who I should say who we get as caster cards. Are they going to be like cryptids and casters and stuff that we're familiar with? Or are they going to be new characters that they introduce? Like I want to know more about the story. I want to know more about the world, the universe, how it actually all works. Um, she says, honestly, the thing confusing me the most is that the auras have an in-lane effect that just says destruction when the terror they revealed stops destruction. Yeah, I didn't fully know what that meant either, too. And that's what made me kind of question if there were multiple different types of aura, maybe, where, like, that's just, like, one of 3 different versions of it or something. I'm also not entirely sure what destruction means. Like, I don't know if that actually would mean that like the Terra is destroyed, maybe destruction actually give you the ability to actually to duel. I'm not sure. We some of the wording definitely needs to be explained for us to fully actually completely understand exactly what it is. This is like Pokemon meets chaotic. To be honest, Hellbound, in my opinion, I don't like the more contemporary, clean design. There was something nice about the outdated aesthetic of Old Zoo. I appreciate the old MetaZoo cards. I will always love the old MetaZoo cards. Um, I'm stoked for the art. Again, there are 50 new artists that actually they hired for this base set, and I keep saying if you don't like certain art, there will be cards that you actually love. And to be completely blunt, not everybody really cared about the commons and the uncommons back in the day. I felt like I was one of the few that would literally look in depth on those cards to try to find clues and all sorts of stuff to what the story was and how things interconnected and things like that. And most people didn't really care about the uncommons and commons and stuff. They had their 5 or 6 favorites, and that was about it. And yeah, it is different, but at the same time, there's enough that's actually callbacks to Old Zoo that actually it makes me feel okay with it. I think some of the cards honestly have been complete glow ups too. I know one of the big controversial one was Third Eye Man. I absolutely love the new Third Eye Man. The old one, I honestly didn't really like, and I know that this is a very controversial take as well too. I was never a huge fan of the old Bigfoot art from Cryptid Nation. My favorite Bigfoot, honestly, was the one from Wilderness. Again, Jet. You know, I like Jet. And the Pin Club one. To be honest, that was it. Those are the 2 that I really liked. I wasn't really a big fan of most of like the Bigfoot art from back in the day. And again, like I've been saying, if you look at this and this is something that you don't enjoy or something that you don't like, Old Zoo is still there. Retro Zoo is still. I don't know if I've ever seen the Black Friday Bigfoot one. Everybody keeps talking about that one. I need to look that one up because I don't. That was that and Sam were the 2 that I never pulled from Black Friday. But what I was getting at though is that if you don't like the new zoo, if you don't like the new art, that is okay. And I'm sorry that you don't, but you got to find something that excites you again then. There are tons of people that I've talked to that are not only just excited that Zoo is back, but they're excited that for once it looks like we actually have a solid plan forward. We have focus. I said it the other night in the Discord. The big difference that I feel is that we have focus. Like M2 knows where they want to end up. M2 has a clear plan on where they want to go. And you again, going back to the art, like you have to admit they didn't have to use old art. They didn't have to use anything from Retro Zoo. They could have gone completely new with everything. And the fact that they used old art from cards that we've grown to love, like Griddle Greaser was in so many flame decks. The fact that they used that art speaks volumes to me. That they're not. M2 is not trying to replace MetaZoo. M2 is trying to give MetaZoo the shot that it always deserved. And that's I know I don't see eye to eye with everybody. I know people don't see eye to eye with me. But Charlie said he didn't know what Zoo was yet. My favorite quote. Charlie said that 4 months ago when he actually had the first interview with Nick on Nick Strengthening Pokemon. And the way that it was worded was he actually was asking Nick, what is Pokemon? When he actually responded, he's like, I'm not sure, but we're finding it out. Because the thing is that question, what is MetaZoo? I've been posing it to a bunch of people. What is MetaZoo is personal for each person. What is MetaZoo is something that your answer and my answer and Charlie's answer and Nick's answer and Josh's answer and everybody else's answer, they're not going to be the same. And that's the amazing thing about MetaZoo. I've always spoke about how I always saw the potential that MetaZoo had because, yeah, people equated it to Pokemon. But with Pokemon, you pick your favorite Pokemon. With MetaZoo, it was people finding that a cryptid that they had grown up with their entire life, that was part of them, part of their story. It was in a card form, and that's what made them fall in love with the game. That's what made them actually start following it. So MetaZoo has always been, in my opinion, a personal thing. Like MetaZoo to me isn't the art. It isn't just the old artwork. It isn't just the old stories. It isn't just the community. It's everything together. It's everything wrapped up. It's the memories that I made from going to all of the different cons, the friends that I have across the world now that I never would have met if it wouldn't have been for MetaZoo. Like MetaZoo isn't just about the physical cards and the game. It's bigger than that. And like I said, this is really the first time that I feel we have a clear path forward to where other people can experience that joy that I get from it. The wonder of being able to find all of these new, not really new, some of these are hundreds of years old, but creatures and myths and stories, like all around us that are part of our real world, part of the thing that makes us human. So I don't know. Like I always pose that question. What is MetaZoo? And to be honest, if you want to answer, leave a comment in this video and tell me what you think MetaZoo is. Because I honestly don't think it's just the art. It's not just the game. It's not just the community. It's not one particular thing. It's everything. That's what MetaZoo is. That's one of the reasons why back in 2023, I stopped just making content covering just the lore and story, and I started covering the story of MetaZoo itself. That's why I went to all the conventions. That's why I tried to go to as many towers as I actually could. I only missed one, but that's why I tried to do all of those things so I could document and talk about the story of MetaZoo. We are the story of MetaZoo. And I hope that if MetaZoo doesn't spark joy with you anymore, I hope you find something that does, because I am so excited for the future, and I want every single person who has any sort of doubts to come with me. But I can't convince. If I can't convince you, then I hope you give it a shot. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, sorry, I went into a random Turmentic rant. My fault. Sorry, I saw Frostbite say, "Let it go." All right. So anyway, Any questions or anything before I actually wrap this up? Because we kind of went through, I feel, everything. We showed off all of the different cards. We showed off the playmat. We talked a little bit about how gameplay might actually work. We actually showed the Terra. We showed the strategy card, the equipment cards. Yeah, there's so much information that they actually just gave us in that like 2-minute video. And it gets me so excited for March 7th and beyond, because that's really when we're going to get into the nitty gritty. It's when we're really going to start actually getting gameplay videos. It's when we're going to start getting actual stories. Like they were talking stories of the universe and how it operates. I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. Let me see what the comment says though. I thought war was coming, but I will buy this and play. Yeah, war is definitely not coming, my friend. It is a different gameplay system. I will give you that, Josh. It is a completely different gameplay system. I'm interested to see if fourth wall somehow comes into effect. We didn't see anything with fourth wall, which I will be honest that I loved the fourth wall aspects. Some of them got kind of ridiculous though. I went to very few tournaments where they were legal. Like the vast majority of MetaZoo tournaments and things that I went to, fourth wall was not legal. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. I feel like some of it's gone. Like I don't know. Fourth wall's gone. You're convinced one. I'm kind of on that fence too with you. And I wanted to touch on it, but I didn't want to like focus on it because again, that is something I did enjoy the fourth wall aspect. And if it is gone, I am going to be sad. At the same time, I still have Retro Zoo I can play though. Like those cards aren't going anywhere. And if I can't find anybody to play locally, I can always go and play on TTS. Like that's amazing. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna wait and see if they actually say anything about fourth wall coming up to the 7th. But I'm not gonna kind of hold my breath about it. Chris said, I looked at some cards, spot text. It just wasn't. Maybe I'm tripping, but maybe they're still hiding some stuff in the already revealed cards. Yeah, I'm fingers crossed, but I'm kind of like not going to hold on to fourth wall for right now, just because again, like the art from the old sets, if they use it, that'd be awesome. And if we don't have fourth wall, then like I don't know. So anyway, that's it. That's all I can think of. Hopefully I'll have tomorrow night off and they won't actually drop another big piece of information like this. But we'll see. Next time we actually get any sort of information, though, of course, I'm going to actually try to do some sort of breakdown for it. Hawan saying, what's interesting, too, is that no flying or stealth or anything like that was on the creatures. They didn't say flying or stealth or anything like that, but I think that some of the designations give them abilities, but that's just me going out on a limb. Like, I don't know. I don't know how any of like I didn't see anything to like burrow and stuff like that. So you might be right, but I would have like we saw the one that said give something soar. So I'm assuming soar is flight, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, y'all are beautiful and amazing. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday evening on Valentine's Day. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Have any other questions or anything though? Like I said, hit me up in the Discord, something like that. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you actually think MetaZoo is, because I love hearing everybody's responses. I love how different they are. And like I said, your answer to what is MetaZoo is going to be personal and it's going to be you. So like leave the comments down below. I would love to actually read them. But yeah, thanks for everybody jumping in. Thanks for everybody hanging out. Thanks specifically to Juan and Cheese for helping me decipher everything. Yeah, you guys are amazing. I love you all, and I will see you on the next time. Oh, if you jumped in late, definitely go back to the beginning of the video and check out the new intro and let me know what you guys think, because I was really excited about that. Again, shout out to the Mothhawk. Definitely go and follow him on Instagram. He's a huge person in the community. He made all the music and everything for me, so I appreciate you once again. And yeah, I'll see you all later.